Hey guys, welcome to this unexpected and unplanned video release. In this video, I'm going to have a chat and ask you about whether AI generated content, images specifically, can be classified as art. Let's have a look. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Elton, a 50-something-year-old traveling in my old Heimer, undertaking a van life long-term photography project of the UK and hopefully further abroad. So you'll see photography tutorials and a lot of content from the road. Please do join me. Hit the subscribe button. Hey folks. Right, so the reason for this unexpected, unplanned video is because yesterday I came across an article about an Instagrammer who has pretty much gone viral over the last few months. I think he opened his account in October or something like that of 2022 and currently has over 26,000 followers on Instagram. And the article was basically about him apparently wanting to come clean on the fact that the portraits that he posts on this Instagram account are actually, and the vast majority, like I think the article states there are two portraits within his entire portfolio on Instagram that are actual people, that the rest are AI generated content. Now, I'm not one to get triggered really. It's very seldom that anything really winds me up these days, but that's really got to me. I think, one, obviously I'm a photographer myself, professional photographer, and when I use the term professional photographer, I don't mean I'm the best photographer out there. I don't mean I know every single thing about photography. What I mean and what professional means is that you make a living from that specific thing that you do. Whether you're a plumber, you're a professional plumber because you make a living out of that. So as a professional photographer, as someone who, like many other photographers out there, has to day in, day out, put in the hard work, be present on social media, create content, to just try and drum up some business. For someone to then come along and put in a few commands into Mindjourney, which is the AI tool that this guy uses, which then spits out images which you can then refine with a few more commands and ask it to do a better job, etc. And then post that on Instagram as your work of art. Really got my back up. Yes. So in the article, which we will have a look at, he states that he generates several images in the AI in Mindjourney, which he then takes bits and pieces of each of these to create the final image. And then he also does a few things in Photoshop, which I'm assuming are things like adjustments to levels and dodge and burn and these types of things. To then, get the final image which he posts on Instagram, and saying that this is supposed to make us photographers feel like that, oh, he's an artist. I'm sorry, but you don't take something that's already 99% generated for you, make a few tweaks, and then call it your piece of work or your artwork. It's like going and taking the Mona Lisa, painting the eyes blue, and saying, yeah, this is my work of art. Is it really? And I'm not sure how many people understand how this Mindjourney and other image AI tools work, but what they essentially do is scour the internet for images and learn from these images. And, it's millions and millions of images they scour. So, my images, my portfolios may well have been used to train this AI, as with many other images out there, many photographers. So these AI tools are taking the work that photographers have done and created work from to then generate these AI generated images and portraits and landscapes and everything else. So again, it feels like, and let's be clear, these AI tools are scouring and indexing these images without the consent of the photographers, of the copyright holders. So I'm unsure where this all sits with copyright law, given that your image has been used to teach something how to generate an image. I suppose the argument would be because it's not replicating your image directly, it's therefore not copyright. But if it's just using a small pixel or a few pixels from your image to generate a multi-million pixel image, then there's no lawsuit there. But it's I think a lot of photographers, and I've seen reactions to this article with other photographers, and there are a lot of unhappy folk out there. And I think it's not really the fact that this chap specifically is using AI and posting AI images, because loads of people do that, hundreds and thousands. The difference here, I think, is that he's sold it as his own. He's posting these images as portraits, as images of people, with. If you read the captions, there's nothing to suggest that this is not a human portrait that this guy has taken himself with a camera in a studio. But in fact, it's not. It's AI generated, and he's done a little bit of things in Photoshop to kind of make it unique. So I think for me, what kind of upset me the most was that part of it, is that someone gets this viral, 26,000 followers in such a short period of time is doing well, let's be fair. But it's off the back of deceit. And that is something that will always trigger me. I hate people who lie. Hate's a strong word. Sorry, I apologize for using that word. I seriously dislike people who are insincere and deceitful. And this chap has been that on his Instagram profile. And even now, he has now put in his profile header that it's, there are AI images, but it's very subtle. And in his hashtags that he uses on his images, they're all about portraits. I think the latest one may have one AI related hashtag. It's kind of buried near the end of the hashtag set. And unless he is specifically asked, is this AI generated, he won't just give that freely. So if you look at his images, you will notice a lot of people who clearly haven't read the article, clearly don't know what an AI image looks like. Because I have come across this account before. It came up in my feed on some of the hashtags that I follow. And for me personally, I knew immediately that these were AI-generated images. When you've taken enough portraits in your lifetime, and you've looked at enough portraits in your lifetime, and you know enough about photography and editing, you can see an AI image immediately. So I never took much notice of the account. It's only since I read this article yesterday that I went and had a look at his account, and it just struck home about how deceitful he is. Because if someone comments about, oh, great shot, for example, he won't correct them. He won't say, oh, no, this is not, I didn't take this shot. It's actually an AI image that I've edited. It's thank you very much kind of thing, taking credit for it being a captured portrait that he took. And that's the part that really gets my back up with this guy, is that he's not forthcoming and he's not forthright, even though, this whole article that he went and looked, that he went to Ars Technica is the article, and was put out on the 21st of February, so only 2 days ago. And in this article, he states that he wants to come clean with his audience. And let's take a look at that article now, shall we? Okay. So this is the article here, and I will link to this article in the description below. So as you can see, this article was published on the 21st of February, so just 2 days ago, and states how the artist wants to come clean So let's see what it says, shall we? While it may appear to showcase stunning photo portraits of people, they are not actually people at all. He goes on to say, Avery emphasizes that while his images are not actual photographs, except for two, they still require a great deal of artistry and retouching on his part to pass as photorealistic. Now, again, having used Midjourney, one of the commands that you can actually tell it is to create a hyper-realistic or photorealistic image. So, yeah, I'm not buying it again. And again, it goes on to confirm, to create them, Avery initially uses Midjourney, an AI-powered image synthesis tool. He then combines and retouches the best images using Photoshop. So as you can see here, Midjourney's creators taught the AI model how to synthesize images by showing it millions of examples of art from other artists. It can generate stunning, photorealistic images that can fool some people into thinking they are real photos, especially if retouched later. So, yes. So here it goes on to say that AI, such work, i.e. AI images, attracts great controversy in the art world, partly due to ethical issues around scraping human-made artwork without consent. So these are some of the comments that he received about his fake photos began pouring in. All I can say is, your art is somehow unique, very unique, also very precious. You are actually telling paramount stories to the viewer using your cams, wrote one commenter 4 weeks ago. Setting novel highlights in contemporary photography, in my honest opinion. Your work is great delight to soul, mind and soul. Up until very recently, when asked, Avery was either vague about how he created the images or told people his works were actual photographs, even going so far as to describe which kind of camera he used to create them, a Nikon D810. So yes, this is the specific part that triggered me, is the fact that he lied, blatantly lied, in these examples here where he told people what camera you use to take these images. I mean, that is just blatant deception, and that's the part that bothers me, because as I say, there are other people out there that use AI and post AI images, but they are honest about it. They say this is an AI generated image. And there's no issue there. There's no trigger factor there, because they're not trying to pass it off as their own work. So I won't read everything in here. I'll let you go and have a look at it yourself, and have a read through that. But yeah, let me know. Do let me know what you think. So let's just take a quick look at some of his Instagram here. So you can see, out of all these images, apparently there are two in here that are actual people. I'm pretty sure I know which ones they are, but without actually delving into it, I couldn't be sure. But yes, if you look at some of the comments, shall we look at some comments on some of these photos? Let's just take a random one. So photo credits to this amazing picture are himself. What's your thoughts on this magnificent image? This wonderful feature. I don't know what that's about. So he goes on to say things like, okay, so this is one where people have actually come on and have clearly read these articles. And you can see someone's asked him the actual question, and he hasn't actually answered. Joss himself hasn't answered. Someone else has taken it upon themselves. And you can see the fallout that he's getting. Mate, this isn't art. It's generated AI images using scraped artwork from other people's portfolios. And you've now restricted comments because you're worried that people will realize this is all BS. So yes, there are a few people, as you can see, that are getting a bit irate at this now, that they're finding out that it has been a lot of nonsense. You can see what a great classic portrait. Congratulations. And someone's just pointing out, yep, congratulations to the computer that generated it. So there's a bit of a fallout happening. If we look at some of the older works, perhaps, you can see some examples where... Okay, this one also has got comments about AI art. But you'll see here, for example, so expertly portrayed graphic stereo, blah, blah, perfect portrait. Very kind, David. Thank you very much. There's no comment there about, oh, it's AI. I want to see if I can find any. So here he's also been honest. This one, brilliant picture. How did you light it? And he has said, I created this image using an AI generated image. But this was 1 day ago after the article had been published. So yeah, wonderful combination of story and photo. So this chap thinks it's clearly a photo. Thank you, Eric. Bob. No comment there about, oh, it's an AI image. So yeah, anyway, I don't want to go bore you to tears with all this. Let me know what you think. Go and have a look at the account. I'm not going to link to it on my YouTube channel below because I don't want to send him any traffic, to be fair. But go and have a search for him, Avery Season Art. Have a look and see what you think and let me know. So there we have it, guys. Let me know your thoughts below because, as I say, for me, I don't think generating an image in AI, where, as I say, the vast majority of the work's already done for you. And, you know, like I say, I used AI. I used ChatGPT. I used Midjourney out of curiosity. I want to see what can be done, what can be created. But what I would never use Midjourney for would be portraits, because that's something I'm quite capable of doing myself. And you know, the whole point of photography is to create something unique, create something that's different and that stands out and that people would like, and figuring out how to place your lights and get that right lighting on your subject and that kind of thing. So for me to generate a portrait, it's just not of interest to me. What I might create is and what I typically have used Midjourney for is to try and create like fantasy type things or scenarios of scenes or landscapes. For example, mushroom houses and fairies living in mushroom houses and dragons fighting tigers. It's the whole Japanese yin yang thing. And, you know, these kinds of more fantasy stuff that I couldn't generate through a camera lens. So yeah, let me know what you think. Can you claim AI generated images as your own artwork? Do you think it's deceitful? If you go and have a look at his account, or you've seen the kind of things that he comments there, do you think he's being deceitful? What are your thoughts? What do you think? Where's AI taking us? Right, guys, until next time, be happy, be safe, and be kind. Cheers.